Saturday morning update. Great to have you with us. We are joined by Dena Roudybush. We've had Dena on before, and Dena actually has a new show on Saturday mornings at 5:30, just ahead of the Saturday morning update. It's the Mortgage Crisis Update, and each week she'll take a half hour and really delve into the topic of mortgage problems that you may be facing, foreclosure, if you've been foreclosed on or you're underwater, what can you do about it? Dena, great to have you back with us this morning.
Great to be back. Thank you so much.
And, we've been kind of buried in the headlines of politics over the last couple of weeks, and some of the mortgage problems and robo-signing legal cases have a little bit fallen by the wayside in terms of media coverage. If you could kind of bring us up to date, have things quieted down at all on the mortgage crisis front, or is it intensifying?
No. It's just getting started. For listeners that have been following robo-signing or have not, what does that mean? Fraud. That's what it means. Falsely signing documents, falsifying affidavits to foreclose on property or unlawfully foreclose on property. That's really what it sums up, and that's why we're just now beginning. There are more and more lawsuits across the country. We're seeing more class actions across the country. It's not. This just really opens up a whole new wave of, number one, opportunities for homeowners to challenge the banks from foreclosing on their home. And it really, another aspect of this is it really sheds light on this pervasive practice throughout the mortgage industry. Fraud has crept its way in from the beginning of the origination of the mortgage loan, and it's now, apparent that it exists in the foreclosure process.
And I know on your show this morning you were talking about robo-signings, and next Saturday morning at 5:30 you're going to be talking about MERS and problems there. Tell us a little bit about what MERS means and what are the problems.
MERS stands for Mortgage Electronic Registration System. Historically, a secured investor would file in land records, either an assignment or the deed of trust, something indicating in land records, real estate records, that they are the owner of the note. The banks got together in the 90s and established this registration system. Just consider it or think of it as a software program. A clerk enters into this software program or this system who owns the note. They've done it sloppily, incorrectly, and now we're unable to trace the owner of the note. We know one case, and I want to talk about this because this is, I don't know why it hasn't been front page of the news here. Bank of America allegedly has foreclosed on a home in Florida. Homeowners live in Massachusetts. There's a lawsuit pending right now. There was no mortgage on that home. Bank of America intended to foreclose on the property down the street.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Ouch.
They had tenants in the home. They evict the tenants through intimidation. And the property in the home was allegedly, according to the documents, thrown out. So the homeowners are challenging the bank now, but see, and this is not an isolated problem. I know through my practice there was a wrongful foreclosure in Arlington County. We're following these cases across the country, so it really is just the tip of the iceberg, unfortunately. But what's fortunate about it is homeowners can challenge the banks.
Something you pointed out on your show this morning was, if you go into a court situation and there is a representative of the bank, there's this sort of implied credibility that the banker has the upper hand, and then you have the citizen on a lower plateau. Is that changing?
It's good point. It's changing now. Now I look at opposing counsel or a bank counsel as representing the crooks in the industry. It is changing now, and thankfully the courts are recognizing that you cannot take for granted or assume that the bank is the good guy in this case, or that they're being taken advantage of. Absolutely not the case.
Well, we hope that folks will get up a half hour earlier on Saturday morning and join us for the Mortgage Crisis Update starting at 5:30 each Saturday. And Dena, in the weeks ahead, what kind of topics are you going to cover that are going to be important to people?
We're really going to have such impactful information available to the homeowners because I really want to address the truth of the matter. I want homeowners to know what their true options are, what's going on in litigation, how can they fight the banks, how can they stay in their home, and how do they know if they're being lied to by the bank bank in regards to a modification, because that's another problem that hasn't been discussed, and I want to talk about that because I believe there are more people still going through the modification process hoping that it's going to come true. And I really, there needs to be some discussion on the fraud that exists in that arena as well.
So if somebody just happened on our discussion just now, you practice in Maryland, Virginia, and D.C., is that right? I
have counsel with my firm in Maryland and D.C. I'm a Virginia licensed attorney, so my practice is all over Virginia. I practice all the way down to Richmond. And so we have exclusive experience. That's all. I've been a mortgage banking attorney for 9 years now. I've been practicing for 13. And having an intimate knowledge from banks' perspective, having represented banks and mortgage lenders and brokers, I want to impart that knowledge to assist homeowners. I want that information available to them. And if somebody wants to reach you, the best way to do it? 703-261-7097, or you can go to our website, www.saveyourhouselawyer.com. That's 703-261-7097 or saveyourhouselawyer.com. Dena Roudybush, thank you for joining us on the Saturday Morning Update, and we'll look forward to joining you on the Mortgage Crisis Update Saturday morning, every Saturday morning at 5:30 right here on 630 WMAL. Thank you. Thank you, and I look forward to next week. News next on 630.